What's good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to you guys with a quick video. Today, we're going to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers. And I wanted to make this video not because it's a hot topic, not because of LeVar Ball, not because of Lonzo Ball, even though I don't cover LeVar and really I don't talk that much about Lonzo anyway. But this video is about the team and Luke Walton and the organization. They brought in Rob Pelinka. They brought in Magic Johnson. They hired Luke Walton last year. They drafted Lonzo Ball, got rid of D'Angelo Russell, and they ended up getting Brook Lopez. They obviously drafted Kyle Kuzma and Lonzo Ball, two great young prospects. Brandon Ingram has developed enough to where he's a threat offensively, and he has the confidence going through the roof. He's starting to knock down the mid-range. He's starting to take the threes. And it's only so long before this team becomes a contender. Memphis Grizzlies is a team that's fallen off. They rely so much on two players that if one is gone, it's hard to win. Obviously, I think the Grizzlies have upgraded the talent considering how I feel like the last 2 years they had not enough talent, and this year I feel like they have enough talent. But the NBA is only getting tougher. I told you guys with the G League and overseas and the NBA draft, you have a pool of a lot of players that you can draw from. It's a lot of players you can go and get. Oh, I like this guy overseas, so I'm about to draft him. Oh, I'm about to get somebody through a draft. Oh, I'm about to sign him as a free agent. It's a lot of great NBA players that didn't even make it to the NBA this season because the rosters was full. And I know that because I used to watch Jalen Jacoby, and they make a list that show you all the players that was in the league a year ago, and if they in the league this year, and you have over 20 players that's actually legitimate NBA players that's not even on the team. Plus, you have players you can bring up from the G League. Plus, you end up drafting young players that you want to try out and keep because they're on rookie scale, cheap, affordable, flexible contracts. And all that means is a lot of talent in the league. I told people the Brooklyn Nets, that's a mediocre team nowadays, and they can compete virtually with anybody, and they don't even have a superstar, but they've been competing. The Hawks are the worst team, but they don't have as much talent. And even the Chicago Bulls, I'm not going to ride too high on their winning streak. They're not that bad, and they don't even have Zach LaVine back. They just got back mirrored. Chris Dunn came back a couple weeks ago, and they're respectable. So even Memphis Grizzlies, they still got Marc Gasol, Tyreke Evans, Mario Chalmers, Ben McLemore. They're not a terrible team. Dallas, they have Dennis Smith. They have Harrison Barnes who can play. They still have Dirk. They still have players that can actually play. And those are the teams that's at the bottom. The NBA always been filled with talent, but it's just more of a pool that if you don't like somebody, you can trade them, you can get rid of them, you can sign somebody else, you can find somebody to replace them because there's so much access to players. And that made me ask the question, and I want to share it with my fans on YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and on my website. The Lakers not that far off. They're 10-17. OKC obviously is an 8th seed. But this team, they lost a lot of games that was close. They still learning how to win. They still learning how to play team defense, when to rotate, how to trust each other. The offensively, I don't really have a problem with the Lakers offensively. Obviously, they go through their slumps. Obviously, they make their mistakes. They turn the ball over. They blow leads. And they're just not great defensively. They 13th in points per game with 106. And that's including that Lonzo Ball has really been a dud offensively. He hasn't really gave you that much besides a couple assists and a couple hockey assists. But he hasn't even been scoring that much until now. And he's not scoring efficiently anyway. So Lonzo Ball is kind of holding them back from their full potential because you don't really have to guard him. You don't really have to do anything because he's only looking really to get to the paint to kick out or just pass in general. And it kind of reminds me of the Ricky Rubio Rondo effect where you know they're not trying to score the basketball. They're just trying to find teammates. So you sag off of them or you don't respect them, and it makes it harder for their teammates to score because they're not offensively trying to impact the game besides assists and holding the ball. And Lonzo hasn't really been that good off the ball either. So even when if he doesn't have the ball in his hand, then he hasn't really made the biggest impact. But he still does attack a little bit, get to the paint, kicks out, tries to draw attention every once in a while. And he's a guy that will turn up a good shot for a great shot. So you got to give him credit. He a rookie. He still has to learn. But they have a good problem on their hand. They had drafted Kyle Kuzma. I thought they was going to start him over Brandon Ingram because I feel like Kyle Kuzma was playing better basketball than Brandon Ingram. Obviously, that was a mistake because, hey, why start one when you can start both? They both long, lanky, can switch, can play multiple positions, can rebound to a certain extent, especially Kuzma. They can stretch out the floor from the three. They can handle the ball, get to shots they want. They can score in the paint with fadeaways, floaters, little hook shots. They still need to get better at getting to the free throw line and stop relying so much on the jump shot because the jump shot can come and go from game to game. And that's something that Kuzma and Ingram started doing. They started getting closer to the basket. They started getting easy mid-range shots because they're so tall that all they got to do is basically toss the ball in the basket. And it's not that difficult if you can get that close. But since they have so much spacing with Brook Lopez and Brandon Ingram being the forward, and you still have Caldwell Pope and stuff, and Clarkson still stretching and spacing out that floor, it gives them room to get to the paint and get high percentage shots, whether it's Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, or Lopez. They need to definitely stop shooting as many threes and try to get the easiest basket possible. And sometimes that result of drawing attention, making the defense collapse, or just finding somebody that went to sleep defensively and they cut to the basket, or you ran to the basket, threw up a lob to Lopez or a dunk or found it for open three. They have the floor space and they have the will to pass. They still learning how to trust each other. They're still finding out different lineups that work. And like I said, the reason why they're losing so much today is that they can't win close games. And that's what the veterans always tell you when they talk about young teams. You have to learn how to win. You have to be disciplined. Take good shots. Don't rush into shots. Don't turn the ball over. Don't rush. Just be patient. Let the game come to you and just go out there, have fun, and play basketball. Don't overthink it. And there's still, like I said about Brandon Ingram earlier this year, October, is he had that hesitation. He had pump fake. He had turned down shots. Now he's taking those threes. He's taking those mid range. He's handling the ball to get the shots that he wants. And that's something I didn't see last year, and that's something I'm starting to see more of this year. Being comfortable, trusting in his game, and knowing that he can get any shot that he wants. And as long as he can do that, he's going to always be able to get an advantage because he's not settling for what the defense give him. And if he does settle for what the defense give him, he still has to take the shot. And that's something that he really wasn't doing earlier. And in the beginning of the season, he has evolved and started adjusting to that now. And his teammates are giving them confidence that he can do it. I don't really think the Lakers are that bad. They 10-17. They third in the Pacific Division. They averaging 23.1 assists a game. Like I said, they starting to trust each other. They're starting to move the ball. It's starting to become contagious, and they do have the floor spacing. They points per game, like I said, Lonzo Ball hasn't really been offensively good. He hasn't knocked down really that many threes, and they're still finding out their rotation in their lineups. So I can understand the points, but that's not that bad for a team that's not a contender, for a team that's not really old and have the veteran leadership and winning games. 106 points a game is very good, especially for a team with so many new pieces. I don't think being 13th is a bad thing, but defensively, even Tom Thibodeau, Minnesota Wolves, they added Taj Gibson, they added Jimmy Butler, and they're still not a great defensive team. That takes a lot of hard work, a lot of commitment, and a lot of trust among the teammates to get that done. And defensively, I didn't really expect a young team. Boston been able to do it. They got new players, and obviously they bought in defensively. But you got to have a great coach to have great schemes and trust his players. And you need that anchor on the wings, and you need that anchor inside the paint. And I don't really believe that Brook Lopez is a defensive anchor, but he does give him versatility on the offensive end, and he can block shots. And I don't really think that Brandon Ingram and Kyle Kuzma, they're long, they're lanky, they're athletic, they're quick, and they have the size to contest and be great defenders on the perimeter and sometimes rotations, but they're not there yet. Kyle Kuzma, this is his first year in the season, and this is Brandon Ingram first year starting for a whole season so far. So that's not going to be there just yet, but that's something that they're going to have to do and find and tweak and find the right scheme in the future when they want to be the contender. But I've told you guys, I don't really think the Lakers are that far off of making the playoffs. They already won 10 games this season. They can't really get on the long winning streak. They can't really dominate. They won a lot of games. They upsetted a lot of people, but they have to be consistent, and that's when you become a great team. You have to consistently be able to close, win games, find a way to win it in general, find a way to stay in it and make the plays to win the game, and they haven't been able to do that enough, unless they will be in the playoffs right now, because a lot of teams in the West, like I said, the Memphises, the Clippers, the Jazz, they having young players too come in and new teammates come in, and all of these teams are struggling. And like I said, the Lakers are showing that they can compete. They have some talent, and with the right mindset, the right chemistry, they can pull it together in a year or this next year or the year after that. It's not even about the draft picks to me no more. They have the youth, they have the talent, they have the matchup, they have the offense, they have the coach, and they have the updated things you need to win games in the NBA, which is length, size, and ability to switch and be able to shoot the three. They have all that. They just too young right now, and they're not that far off to me for being a 6th, 7th, or 8th seed. You got to start somewhere. And even if they lose Brook Lopez, even if they don't keep Caldwell Pope, they still got other players on the roster that can come in and fill that void. And, they can always sign another free agent to kind of patch the loss of Lopez or upgrade from Lopez. They're not that far off. We thought the Lakers would be a lot better this year, but the season is not over. I did not think the Lakers were going to make the playoffs anyway, but they do on paper have talent, enough talent that you would think that they could. And a lot of us, seeing that, hey, they're starting to get their together and they're starting to have talent. And then if they do lose, they get another pick that potentially can come in and be even better, whether it's replacing Caldwell Pope, whether if it's drafting a center, because there's a lot of centers in this draft. They have the option if they get the pick and keep it, because they got the pick that's steady in the league. It got limits on it, but I like where the Lakers are going. I'm trusting the process in the Lakers. They've been losing for a lot of seasons, even when they had Kobe for his last couple years. But they still been trying to find out who's the guys. They still been trying to find out who can get the job done, and they still trying to develop their young players and help them become great players. And that's going to take time. That's going to take chemistry. That's going to take winning and losing and understanding and staying together and still being able to believe in each other in general. And they have a lot of players that's cheap too. They got these players on rookie contracts, and you never know the moves that they can make. And the way these players are playing, that they're always going to be tradable. So even if they did want to make a move to rush into winning now, like the Wolves did, trade in Zach and Chris Dunn in the pick, they have the players to do that too, and they have the picks to do it. So I can see them doing that too, like getting rid of D'Angelo Russell and Mozgov for Brook Lopez. They wasn't scared to get rid of Mozgov. They wasn't scared to trade a prospect in D'Angelo Russell just to get a player like Brook Lopez for 1 year, try him out, and if you leave, you get a expiring deal at worst. So let me know what you guys think. How far is the Lakers off? Are they 1 year? Is they 2 years? Do you think they still can make it this year? Do you think it's because Alonzo Ball not being good enough and playing good enough defense? Or do you think it's just a team thing? They just not closing out games. They just don't know how to win. They just rushing and not knowing how to take care of the ball. They not taking the right shots. Or it just, luck. They missed the shots that they should have made and they just got the L's in return? Or do you think it's just, hey, they got to grow together, continue to get better, and continue to, go through this journey together, and they'll make it to the playoffs just like the Wolves is doing, and they'll make the moves and the deals that they have to become a playoff team like the Nuggets and like the Wolves have done since they done found they franchise players and their big pieces. Now they know what they want to do. Now they found their identity, and now it's time to put it together, make the playoffs, and still continue to build on top of that for years to come. And that's where I think they're at. Obviously, a team like Denver and the Wolves, they're in the playoff hunt. But the Lakers, I feel like they own that level but they just a couple steps behind, but not too far behind. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section below. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com, and my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Click the link, it's into my Facebook page. Click the link, it's into my website. If you're on Twitter, my YouTube channel is pinned to my Twitter page. You click that, it sends you to my YouTube. If you click a video, it sends you to my YouTube. So like the video and subscribe if you enjoy it. And also a link will be in my description in my Twitter to go to the website. And if you're on Facebook, like on Facebook to show support, and also like the video if you enjoyed it, and check on my YouTube. It's pinned on my Facebook page, a link to it, and analysisplayground.com. It'll be a link on my Facebook page. Click that and it'll send you to the website. Quinn Wade, basketball analysis, signing out. And let me know what you guys think about the Los Angeles Lakers and their current state.